Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Weichman. A man from Hazleton has filed for a second petition for parole after he caused injuries that led to the death of a 15-year-old boy. 39-year-old Gabriel Hernandez Mendez was sentenced to 1 year, less 1 day, to 2 years, less 2 days in April of last year, 2022. He had pled guilty to homicide by vehicle in the death of Hector Padilla, who was struck by Mendez's vehicle while Padilla was riding a bicycle on South Poplar Street in Hazleton of 2021. Padilla had died a few days later at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Cedar Crest. Mendez has reached his minimum sentence of 1 year in prison, which allows him to file for early parole. If released, Mendez would be still employed at his current employer, working 40 to 60 hours a week, according to the petition. Rusted butcher knives, guns, and human skull fragments were among the items found while police searched the property of accused murderer Roberto Torner. Police were looking for clues into the disappearance of Jose Pepe Heron. Torner is on trial charges that he murdered his then-friend and FBI confidential informant who disappeared in the fall of 2015. Investigators found 18 bone fragments and 3 bullet casings in a burn pit on a property that Torner owned. 5 of the 18 segments were identified as human, while the other 13 were too small to determine. Torner is already serving 22 and a half years in prison on federal drug and weapons offenses. He is also charged with murder, solicitation to commit murder, and conspiring to commit murder. A Pottsville police officer saved a child from a fire early Tuesday morning on West Arch Street. When officers had arrived on the scene of the blaze, they found 32-year-old Betty Spies with her children, 6 and 5 years old, outside of the residence. However, Spies told police officer Michael Hrebeck that her 11-year-old daughter was still inside. Officer Hrebeck hadn't hesitated to jump into action and used a nearby table and chair to crawl up and allow the 11-year-old girl to jump from the second story of the home into his arms. The Pottsville Fire Department had arrived on scene and was able to gain control of the blaze within 15 minutes. Spies and all 3 of her children were transported to the local hospital for injuries. However, Spies and her 11-year-old had to be flown to Lehigh Valley Cedar Crest for burns. Officer Michael Hrebeck is now being hailed as a hero. Multiple police departments within Luzerne County are investigating alleged reports of fraudulent ATM withdrawals. The Pittston City Police had received reports of fraudulent withdrawals made within Kingston and Pittston between April 29th and May 1st. Within the investigation, it was learned that the victims had used an ATM located at Turkey Hill on South Main Street. 2 suspects were found on surveillance footage to be using the victims' information to make the withdrawals. A second skimming device was found at the UFCW Credit Union on South Main Street in Pittston. Police state that the 2 skimming devices, along with the suspects seen on video, are connected. This is an ongoing joint investigation between the Pittston City and Kingston Borough Police Departments. Pennsylvania State Police have stated they seized several thousand marijuana plants from a home in Foster Township after a search warrant was served on Monday. Wong Jong-hae and Wi-Fi Ung, both from Brooklyn, will face charges including manufacture, delivery, or possession with intent to manufacture or deliver, possession of a controlled substance, and use or possession of drug paraphernalia. Their bail was set at $10,000 each on Monday. The Pennsylvania State Police and Wilkes-Barre have identified the suspects involved in a theft in Luzerne County. However, officers have not released the names of the pictured men at this time. The investigation is still ongoing in Luzerne County. A man that has been charged with sexually assaulting a teenage girl in Tamaqua on 2 occasions had his preliminary hearing on Tuesday. James E. Krasmalski of 81 Hunter Street faced 1 felony count of statutory sexual assault and corruption of minors, along with 2 felony counts of sexual assault, along with several other misdemeanor counts. The victim testified that Krasmalski walked in on her taking a shower and sexually assaulted her, while the second occurrence happened while she was in her bedroom. Krasmalski remains locked up in the Schuylkill County Prison at this time. A June 9th conference is set as parties in the federal lawsuit against Schuylkill County Commissioner Jord F. Halkovich will take another step towards a possible settlement. Halkovich faces allegations of sexual harassment and assault by 4 county employees. The suit was filed against Halkovich and others in federal court by the 4 women in March of 2021. There have been calls from within his own party for Halkovich to resign, and there are ongoing efforts to have him impeached. The plaintiffs have decided to settle for $8,500,000 to get all of the information out into the public. There is no expected resolution timeframe at this time. The Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, Pennsylvania State Police, along with other police departments, held a media event today at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia to urge motorists to buckle up as part of the national Click It or Ticket seatbelt enforcement mobilization running through June 4th.
I'd like to remind people that wearing your seatbelt is not an option. It's not an option when you're operating a motor vehicle. It can save your life in the event of a crash. It's one of the easiest things to do to protect yourself and anyone who is a passenger in a vehicle you are operating. With the busy travel season upon us, I'm encouraging everyone to wear your seatbelt while driving or as a passenger in an automobile. Remember, one small click of the buckle can save your life in the auto accident. The combination of a lap shoulder seatbelt, when used, reduces the risk of fatal injuries to front seat passenger occupants by 45%, minor to critical injuries by 50%, and for light truck occupants, seatbelts reduce the risk of fatal injuries by 60%. All passengers should wear a seatbelt whenever riding in a motor vehicle, even for a short distance. 3 out of 4 crashes occur within 25 miles of your home. Think about that, right? One easy little click, and that's not happening. So I encourage everyone to wear a seatbelt. Make sure all your passengers, including the little ones, are restrained properly prior to pulling off. In the event that the police should pull you over for a motor vehicle violation, you and your passenger are not being restrained with a seatbelt, you will receive a seatbelt violation ticket.
With support from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Pennsylvania State Police, and municipal police departments across the state have worked together, sending a zero-tolerance message to unbuckled motorists through enforcement and public awareness activities. Beginning May 15th, police departments across state lines will work together through the Border to Border initiative to make sure all motorists are buckled up. Coming up on Wyln News, Hazleton has been given a grant to go towards fixing a bridge. Plus, we talk about the July 4th event coming to City View Park. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Melania. Tomorrow it's going to be cloudy.
We want your child to be our Wyln Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on Wyln News and Wyln social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the Wyln News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson that follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department, only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, Gina Calavini, a local teacher, she's going to talk about 2 accidents. One was severe, never got chiropractic care. One, she got chiropractic care. If you're ever in a car accident, watch this show, go to a gentle chiropractor.
Are you looking for the latest local news and events important to our Hispanic community? WYLN will keep you up to date on what's happening, from breaking news to special reports and local events, on our new daily Spanish language webcast, WYLN's Telediario, featuring me, Julia Wiegand. Follow our social media pages and website at WYLNTV.com every day to access WYLN's Telediario webcast. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. Borough Council Vice President Henry Kreisel II announced on Wednesday that the Luzerne County Council awarded $8,500,000 from its allocation of its American Rescue Plan Act funds for the bridge project located in Valmont Industrial Park in West Hazleton. This money puts the borough in position to complete a project that had been in the process of securing funds for close to 2 years, according to Kreisel. The borough had already secured a $1 million multimodal transportation fund grant from PennDOT and a $225,000 state gaming grant for the project. Now, the funds given to the county will supply the rest of the money needed to complete the project. However, the engineer for the bridge stated that the contractor will not be honoring the prices from 2021 as a large amount of time has passed since then. According to Kreisel, the county will rebid on the project. Also, the county council had voted to offer conditional employment to part-time police officers Tim Walsh and Nick Roth. The police department now, once again, has 24/7 coverage. The 3rd annual Independence Day charity event presented by the Paul and Lisa D'Angelo Family Foundation will take place on Tuesday, July 4th at City View Park. The community fundraiser will have live music throughout the day, multiple runs, and fun activities for everyone. Guests will also enjoy an exotic car and truck display, along with tricky tray raffles, professional athlete autographs, food trucks, a cornhole tournament, and much more. 100% of the proceeds will be donated and support the local autism community, youth sports, cancer research, and disabled veterans. If you would like to learn more, you can visit the website listed below. Vital Plant Science Research, a nonprofit biotechnology corporation located in Hazleton, has secured a $1 million National Science Foundation grant for developing an industrial hemp engine that would be used to restore Pennsylvania's role as the major player within the industrial hemp market. The grant will allow all aspects of the industry to be put at the same level, including farmers and manufacturers, identify industry gaps and market potential. It will also bring in industry and development opportunities over a 2-year period. According to Congressman Matt Cartwright, hemp offers an opportunity to grow a Pennsylvania industry from the ground up, springing from a material with seemingly limitless uses. The Hazleton Public Transit has announced that their office will be closed on Tuesday, May 16th, in observance of the primary election in Pennsylvania. However, Church Street Station will be open and buses will continue to run. For a full bus schedule, you can visit ridehpt.com. 2 Republicans are going toe-to-toe for the position of supervisor in Sugarloaf in the primary election on Tuesday. Incumbent Rick Weaver and Nick LaRocque will each be vying for the seat this upcoming week. Thus far, no Democrat or third-party candidate has registered to run against the Republican nominee, meaning the winner will likely run unopposed in the general election. According to the Berwick Borough Manager, Damian Skoblink, a meeting is to be scheduled to show off the plan to the public involving the flooding that has plagued businesses on Eaton Street along with homes located in Park Place. Skoblink states that it will require some easements from local property owners within Berwick. The borough had been promising to fix the problem since 2011. State and federal regulations require the Berwick Borough to reduce sediment and debris that is allowed to be washed into the Susquehanna. Keep Pennsylvania Beautiful and the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation will continue their partnership to implement the cigarette litter prevention program at rest stops across the state with a $20,000 grant from Keep America Beautiful. The program begins with scan or count of cigarette butts and other tobacco products in a designated area, with ash receptacles then being placed at points of entry at locations such as entrances to public buildings. 2 more scans will be performed to measure the effectiveness of the program. Cigarette butts accounted for 37.1% of Pennsylvania's litter back in 2019. Coming up on Weatherly's News Choice, Marty Burns is here with us on Let's Talk Sports. Plus, it's part 3 of Bloomsburg on a path through history with Chris Fulmer. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on Wyln TV.
What happens at Lehigh Valley Health Institutes? What's next happens. Here, you'll find the most advanced innovations in heart and vascular, neuroscience, surgery, orthopedics, and cancer care. You'll find invaluable alliances like the one we have with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And one team, your team, singularly focused on getting you better. Here is where exceptional happens. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Struggling to get a good night's sleep? Then look no further. Grand Central is here to help. Grand Central Sealy experts will set you straight. When you buy your mattress at Grand Central, you can expect free delivery and setup, free removal of the old unit, and interest-free financing for up to 60 months. And of course, Grand Central's everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
To a Thursday edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. And as promised, get a look at some of the gentlemen that have excelled recently in their particular spring sports. And I mentioned gentlemen, we'll start on the tennis courts. Berwick recently defeated Crestwood 3-2. Isaac Gherkin, Ben Yard singles victories for the Bulldogs. And Ben Caro and Liam Welsh, they combined for a doubles victory. For Crestwood, Aaron Kogavoy and Will Savner, they had a doubles victory for Crestwood. Scott Lenio, he had a singles victory for the Comets. But it was not enough as Berwick came out on top. Some baseball. Shenandoah Valley defeated Weatherly 11-4. Nick Ryan got the victory. He went 5 innings, struck out 13, and also had 2 hits offensively. Brain Maximic, he went 2 for 4 with a home run for the Blue Devils. For Weatherly, Jack James, 2 for 4, 3 runs batted in for the Wreckers. And maybe one of the most exciting finishes so far on the baseball diamond. Down 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th. MMI puts up a 5 spot to come away with a 5-4 victory over Wyoming Seminary. Andrew Burns leading the offensive attack for the Preppers. He went 3 for 4. We now go to track and field in Hazleton area, defeated Dallas. And how about the spring of Matthew Casatis? He won the 100-meter, triple jump, long jump, high jump. May have even driven the bus home, we're not sure. But Matthew Casatis, an outstanding event in track and field against Dallas, and also in that victory, Franklin Ritz, 2 individual victories. Crestwood recently defeated Wilkes-Barre area. Zach Shalosky won the shot put and discus. Raymer Tejada won the long jump and high jump. And then in the Jim Thorpe Invitational from Monoy area, Colin McGroarty won the 300-meter hurdles. We want to send out some congratulations in boys lacrosse for Crestwood. Brendan Dennis and Noah Schultz recently both achieved their 100th career goal. Congratulations to them. We're going to round out the week tomorrow on another edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. We'll see you tomorrow.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy is now open at 743 Catawissa Road in Tamaqua. Stop by the Dairy Bar, try over 33 flavors of homemade ice cream still made on the premises, and a full menu of hot food made to order. Have some fun at their driving range, or play mini golf on their 2 18-hole mini golf courses. Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy, celebrating 65 years. Same great taste, same great location, same great memories to be made.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Attention, WYLN viewers! WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
By the 1880s, the iron ore that has sustained Bloomsburg's economy for decades was starting to run out. Only low-grade ore remained, and most production had shifted westward to richer deposits. The town needed to reinvent itself industrially. The answer would come via the textile industry. Numerous mills would rise in town over the decade. The E.C. Caswell Woolen Mill, founded in 1882, the Bloomsburg Silk Mill, founded in 1888 by Joseph Ratty, who also gave the money to found the Bloomsburg Hospital, Bloomsburg Mills Incorporated, founded in 1899, and which operated for 120 years. And then there was the McGee Carpet Company. James McGee had started manufacturing carpets in Philadelphia, but by 1899 he felt a smaller town would be better for his business. He chose Bloomsburg for the location and was soon manufacturing velvet carpets and seamed rugs. In 1913, under the direction of his son Harry McGee, who also founded Bloomsburg WHLN Radio and contributed to the construction of the Bloomsburg Airport, McGee Carpet built one of the largest mills in the nation and soon became one of the biggest carpet producers in the world. The company continues operating today under the McGee Reeder Automotive Systems name. Besides textiles, Bloomsburg around this time became a center of fountain pen production. Paul Wirt had moved to Bloomsburg as a young child and originally studied to be a lawyer, but he soon became interested in developing an improvement on the long-used quill pen design that would have its own ink reservoir and would not leak or clog. It is not known with certainty when Wirt developed his first fountain pen, although he would receive his first patent for design in 1882. In 1885, he opened a fountain pen factory in Bloomsburg, making him one of the first to mass-produce the item. At its peak, his factory employed 60 people, with Sears Roebuck & Company being a major client. In the community, Wirt also served at times as president of the Bloomsburg Water Company and vice president of the Bloomsburg National Bank. The premature death of his son Carl in 1921 weighed heavily on Wirt, and he sold his pen company 3 years later. Today, his factory now serves as an apartment building in Bloomsburg. Another Bloomsburg businessman's legacy lives on in a gift given after his death. David Stroop had run a candy store in town for many years. After his passing in 1884, his estate left money to the town waterworks. The waterworks then informed Bloomsburg Town Council that if it chose to use this money to build a town fountain, they would provide the water to it for free. The councilman agreed and purchased a 2-tiered, 18-foot fountain from the Bronx's J.L. Mott Ironworks. What became known as the David Stroop Fountain was installed in Market Square in 1892 and soon became an icon of Bloomsburg. In 1966, the fountain, which by then was suffering from deterioration after 70 years, was removed and reassembled for display at the then-new McGee Transportation Museum just outside town. When the museum was severely damaged by Hurricane Agnes's flooding in 1972, the fountain was put in storage in the town maintenance facility. It would be returned and partially restored at its original location in 1984, albeit atop a new base that had been installed in 1966, and with a cherub replacing the 2 badly deteriorated crane that had been on top. In 2002, the fountain was disassembled again, and the iron components taken to Alabama for a full restoration. The fully restored fountain returned to Bloomsburg in November of that year, now atop another new basin. Finally, in 2005, a new crane was placed back atop the fountain, restoring it fully to its original appearance. At the turn of the 20th century, trolleys popped up across the nation. Bloomsburg would join in the trolley boom as well, with 2 lines ultimately serving the town. The Columbia and Montour Electric Railway, which opened for operations on August 2, 1901, would be Columbia County's first trolley line. In addition to Bloomsburg, the line also served Berwick and Catawissa. The Danville and Bloomsburg Trolley Company would subsequently begin service to the town on October 3, 1904, connecting the 2 communities in its name. Both trolley lines operated through 1926, when they would be replaced by bus service.
And that does it for the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest news and updates on our Facebook, YouTube, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.
On this episode of Off the Beaten Path, we head to the vault for a couple of great ideas to get you out of the house and into the fresh air. Plus, a return to Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy to see what they have in store for the summer. It's all coming up right now on Off the Beaten Path. I am standing in the middle of downtown Billville, and you may ask yourself, where's Billville? It's located inside Bill's old bike barn. I sat down with Bill Morris, owner of Bill's Bike Barn, to talk about what got him into antique motorcycles and preserving those days gone by.
Well, it happened 1970.